everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about part 2 of preparing to get pregnant. But before I want to do that, I just want to give you a quick update about my doula course. I have about a month and like a couple of weeks left, which is pretty cool. And I eventually am going to start a YouTube channel for things about pregnancy, birth, postpartum, getting prepared for it. And I'm nervous but excited about it. And I'm finding for myself that, this course has been amazing. It's through Indie Birth, and they've been awesome. But the content is really rich. It's a lot of information, and being new on this journey, it could feel a little bit overwhelming and a lot, and it's just putting into perspective of how much I'm going to need to do research on. So it's going to be a really interesting journey, especially if I work with women in my community and things come up that I'm not really sure how to explain, and it's all part of a journey, and I'm continuously growing and learning. So it's been amazing. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to eventually put that channel out. So if there's any moms to be or people that may want to just share their story or some topics, if you want to be interviewed, just let me know. Anyways, so part 2 of getting ready for pregnancy. So if you watched my part 1, I just was kind of really on the basics of getting prepared. So I just wanted to share where I'm at on that journey. So my partner and I, have talked a little bit more about having kids and eventually possibly adopting and fostering as well. But right now our hearts are telling us, probably within the next couple of years, maybe within the next year, we're always kind of tuning in and just seeing what feels good. But what we did the other day is write our intentions, at least mine as well, to what I want to feel like and what I want to embody during this time of getting prepared for pregnancy. And honestly, it's kind of the same intentions we've had with just ourselves and what we want to incorporate. Is just keeping in mind of possibly having a child, or even envisioning other people as our children. So that's being intentional, being in the present moment, loving ourselves and each other, respecting, honoring, having clear communication, eating whole foods, nutrition, bright, beautiful fruits and vegetables, having some kind of practice, whether that's meditation, prayer, some kind of movement or yoga, just really filling our bodies and creating life. I think it's cool to think about having a baby, but also just creating a baby in other areas, like just being creative, whether that's like business or, we eventually want to live on land. So that's going to kind of be like creating our own baby. So I think everything is interconnected, which is really cool. So things that I've done is, read a good amount of books, especially because of my course. And I've bought in a lot of other books that I want to start reading, and listening to podcasts and watching birth videos. And I'm going to show you some of the books that I've been reading, that the course recommended, but also remembering not to just, how do I explain this? Not to be fully engaged in like a certain book, like, oh my gosh, I need to do it this way or that way. It's like just being aware of the options out there, but remembering to tune in and listen to what feels good to me. Just because a certain doctor or a midwife is recommending this doesn't mean that it's good for me and my baby and my body. So just really being intentional of tapping into my intuition. It's cool to read and hear podcasts and observe videos. It's amazing, but sometimes I feel like maybe people, especially me, sometimes I'll get caught up like, oh, I need to do it that way, and I'm really strict about it. So just remembering to be intuitive, listen to my heart, and to have fun with it. Just be gentle, which was another thing that I wanted to mention is with our intentions that we've created, and I'll speak on my behalf, they could sound like strict, like, hey, eating like nutritious food, like making time to like meditate. But yeah, not being so rigid with it. Like, oh, I need to do this day. Like if there's one day where I'm eating some processed foods, like no big deal. Like I forgive myself, and also like it tasted good. Like I'm doing the best that I can right now. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. But some of the books that I've been reading, I don't have a physical copy. I read it online, but it's through Indie Birth, the course that I'm taking online. And their book is called Indie Birth, A Radical Love. Goodness, I forgot. I'll like post it in our or below. But that's just a really, really awesome book. The two midwives that I'm learning under, they just wrote this book so beautifully about their births, their experiences. Yeah, it's amazing. So I suggest that you check it out. It's on Amazon now, which is cool. The other book that I read a couple months ago is Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering, which is so amazing. It's pretty simple and basic, and it just talks about, you know, having like a gentle birth and just being aware of possibilities happening, interventions, or, you know, how to have a birth like at home or, you know, at a hospital. And then even how to be a mother. It talks about like breastfeeding and the postpartum time, which is really cool, and things that I haven't thought about, and I feel like maybe others haven't thought about either. So pretty cool book. So again, Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering. And I'll probably do a little bit more of a review on this on my channel when I create it. And the other one that I'm reading right now, I'm not completely done with, is Birth as an American Rite of Passage. This one's huge. It's a bit out there from my perspective. It's been really beneficial for me just to kind of see how medical birth has been created or been seen for a while now, and it's just seeing the process of how it got there, and like reading this has been huge. And I'm not judging people for having, you know, a medicalized birth or a birth at a hospital, but again, I think just reading these books, listening to podcasts, and just being aware of it, like being open to it, it's pretty interesting what comes up. So lastly, what I want to talk about, things that have come up, is like inner work. So I'm doing a lot of inner work. Well, I want to say a lot, I've just been aware of it. So something that has come up is, let's say I'm doing all this stuff to prepare my body for pregnancy, but for some reason it's like the universe or God is maybe not, I don't want to like say them, but like, what if I can't get pregnant? So that's a huge thing. And it's like just being aware of that and having my options. Like, do I want to, you know, do like the medical way of like checking if something's wrong with my body and going in and, I don't know what it's called, like in vitro, and just doing like things that are invasive to create a child? Or do I sit back and say, okay, like I want a natural, as natural as possible way to have a child in my life? And would that mean like adoption or fostering? So just things have been coming up to be aware of. Or for instance, like if I end up getting pregnant and I have a miscarriage, like how to understand and process that. So just a lot of things have been coming up. I just wanted to share that with you, just a quick little update. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and listening. Oh, I guess one thing that I wanted to share was just loving my journey and not judging myself and not judging others, especially as I'm finding what I want and what is true for me in my birth. It doesn't really resonate with other people, and that's okay. And just learning to like, okay, like if that's the birth that they want, that's the birth that they want. But I'll be honest, I will ask questions to families or moms, kind of to challenge them or to understand their why behind they want this kind of birth, and make sure that that's really what they want. But it's not coming from a place of trying to change your mind or trying to judge you. It's really just making sure that this is what you want. And also it kind of presents a mirror to me, like asking myself, is this really what I want? Do I want a home birth, unassisted birth, meaning no interventions or no midwife there, so I'm just starting to also ask myself these questions, which is pretty cool. But anyways, thank you so much for listening today. I love you. May you have a beautiful day. If you have any questions or anything, or you want to share your story, feel free to comment or message me. And I'd so appreciate it if you made it by the end of this video to like it or subscribe. But if not, I'd definitely love for you to subscribe to my other channel that I'll be creating. I love you. Have a beautiful day.